You're all welcome to today's episode, today's analysis. One thing I want you to have in your mind is that the market always takes from the indisciplined and impatient trader and hand it over to the patient and the disciplined trader. So you need to get yourself a very, very good strategy. If you understand the strategy and you believe in your strategy, that is all that you need to grow in this market. So please, with that much being said, let us go into today's analysis. Today we are going to be looking at DSY, we are going to be looking at gold, we are going to be looking at Bitcoin, we are going to be looking at GBP, USD. These are the coins that I fancy so much. So these are the points that I'm going to be talking about, or the pairs that I'm going to be talking about today. So let us start with DXY. The DXY. What are we currently seeing on DXY? This is the monthly time frame. For the very beautiful monthly time frame over here on DSY, we have seen that DSY has been in a very beautiful uptrend and has been ranging in between ascending channel. So if you can see that, you can see that we have this beautiful channel on the USD pair. That is the dollar index on the monthly time frame. Now, when I look at this, there is no doubt that this thing is in a pure uptrend. So for the monthly time frame, we now know that this is in the pure uptrend. Now, what are we expecting? We have seen the current. I always deal with the current situation. I don't go further than the current situation. After I have identified my trend line, what the next thing I do is to identify is to go in for my current situation on any time frame at all. So on this time frame, we'll be handling the current situation. And for the current situation, we can see that this market came in here, broke this and make this high, came all the way down again to make this low. Then we made this high, then we made this low again. So the next move we are anticipating right now, what the market can actually do right now that we are anticipating, we are looking for the market to go up there and make that other high, then we come all the way back like this. That is if the market is going to be continuing all the way that way. But if anything happens over here, if it does things don't go well, we expect this market to come down and break this the swing low, that strong swing at the bottom, come back here, and then we continue on the market. This is perfect textbook example for this market. That is what we are expecting. So where we are currently, we know that the market has been in an uptrend. So if the trend is our friend, and we want to follow the trend, then it means that this is the best way to go. Just have it in mind that we are moving to the top. So that is it. That is that. Now, the next thing I want us to look at is after I have identified this structure and I know I have seen my break of structure, the next thing I do is I fix my Fibonacci tool. This is very, very simple for me. For me, this is how I understand the market. So this is what I do. I fix my Fibonacci tool. I look out for my 50% range of the Fibonacci tool because this 50% range is a potential point where the market can just reverse. But the better entry point is my OT, the optimum trade entry. So it can come to the 50% around here and just shoot off like this. It happens most of the time. Most of the time that happens. And if it doesn't happen, it breaks the 50% into our OT where we are currently, and then we continue. So how do we know this market is ready to continue from where we are? So you can see everything is in line. Our 50% line is drawn perfectly. Our OT is also drawn perfectly over there. So that is how simple I make my things look. That is how simple I make my things look. So I'm going to take them off. Now that we have this, we know that there is other thing we need to do. We need to move to the this is a top analysis, so we need to move all the way down and see what is happening in the current situation. So if we come to the monthly, we have seen that for the monthly, we have this beautiful OTE point over here. And OTE point is telling us that the market is in a discount zone. It's in a discount zone. So we should be looking for a return from there. We should be looking for a return from there. So as you can see, the market is already here. So what am I looking for? When I come here, I also still deal with the current situation, having in mind that this is from the higher time frame and it's telling us that this is just a pullback. For us to get a better and a very clean uh, move that is telling us that this market is about to move, we need to get a very, very strong analysis here. Price will have to tell us that the immediate high that was created, which is this one, the immediate high that was created right here, this high must be taken off. If this high is not taken off, I don't call it as a change of character. You should have that in mind, because if this high is not taken, the market is still in the downtrend. And that second scenario that I gave is possible. So this market can just do this. It can just do all this over here, and then boom, before you realize it continue all the way to the down. Or if we change character here, we come back and then we move. Then we know that the move has started. The move has started. You see, you don't need to rush things because there is a lot of prizes to be won. You see, if this market decides to move all the way up here, that is a very nice chance of following the market all the way there, whereas you know that that is how the market is going to behave. That is for DXY. So currently, we are just in a sideways over here. We are not going anyway, anywhere. So we are just in a sideways over there. So we need to wait and see if the market is going to give us a lot of what is it called? So now we move on to the down, one more step down. We now have in our minds, we know what we are looking for. Now, on the daily time frame, you can see that we have this beautiful, let me take this off. That is for, I think, 50% line. So I'm going to take that off. All right, so that's it. Now we know that this market, from the current situation, on the higher time frame, this is supposed to be, on a weekly time frame, this is supposed to be nothing but a sideways market. But on the daily time frame, we are having this beautiful understand this beautiful structure over here, which is a very good one. So I'm going to minimize it for us to see. As you can see, we have this moving up from here all the way down, which we already have. We already know that the whole of this market, the whole of this place of the market is in the OTE for the higher time frame. So we are looking for entry positions on this OTE so that we won't make mistakes, so that we can catch early. That is why we move to the down market, so that we can catch the market very, very early. That is the reason why we move all the way down. Now that we have that in our mind, if you are following this video point by point, you will know where we are currently. So now let's analyze this side of the market, and let's see how we will have to be doing that. Now, if you look at this market came in all the way from the top there and give us this first high. Now, this high was broken. As you can see, now we have a very beautiful break of structure. The market is already in the downtrend, so we know that is what is going to happen. And if I fix all my tools, all my what is it called, all my things that I fix on the market, this is how I am going to trade this market. I simply put a Fibonacci tool right here. And when I have my Fibonacci tool right there, I look for my OTE to enter the market so that I can catch a very clean trade. So with this particular trade, this is a very beautiful a very beautiful trade over here, trade entry that we have over here, as you can see. So we'll be targeting this liquidity at the bottom over here, and that is what we should have been trading, which is a very beautiful trade. That is a very nice trade, as you can see, and that is 2R. Now, we are expecting this market to break. The market never broke. The market never broke. We don't care because we only need to take out this low, this high. If we take out this high, we know that the market has changed character. But because that is the current high of the market. So we don't rush it. When this current high of the market is taken, that is the only time we will say the market has changed character. But if that is not taken, we don't call it a change of character yet. So that is it. Now we still follow this analysis and we see that the market came into our OTE. Instead of breaking out, the market did not break, came back over there before finally breaking structure. So now, if we have broken another structure right here, it means we now have a current high at the top here. That is, know that there is no two ways about it. Now, this current high has done its job. It has been protected, and now we have a new one right here. So if we have a new high over there, what we should be looking out for is how to trade this current structure. So, or the old structure, I'm going to delete. The old structure is now a history. So we are looking for the new structure. How are we going to be trading this new structure? For us to understand this market, that is why I'm deleting everything. So now, what is the new structure? The new structure is that we now have this market coming all the way from here, and making this higher low, and then we broke structure. So if we broke structure on this time, this will be our highest point, and this would have been our lowest swing point. Once again, we fix our Fibonacci 2 over there to the high. That is so beautiful. And we wait for another correct, beautiful trade on that. What is it called? This is simple. I just love this style of trading. This is so simple. You see? So we are looking for ways to just take off this low over there, and that is how we trade this market. But what happened? So this protected high is going to be our best high that we should be looking out for, because market should not go past that. If market goes past that, that is a big trouble for us. That means the market has changed character. So that is the same thing I do over here, and I still wait patiently for the market to come into my trading zone. That is my OTE, the optimum trade entry. Now from there, sorry, we are expecting the market to come into the OTE and then continue all the way down like this. That is how this market is supposed to work if the downtrend is still in action. But then what happened? This market decided to break. And now when this market decides to break, that is a sweet spot as well. That is a very sweet spot, because right now the market is telling us that I have changed character. That is a clue that I am no longer going to go down, but I want to go up. That is a very beautiful clue. So now, if that happens, we have lost out on this trade that we have taken. So what do? We pinpoint our what is it called? We change our mindset, because we already know that this is in an OTE on a higher time frame. So now we are changing our mindset. Our mindset is now that we have this beautiful market at the top over here. Now that we have this point being the highest point at the top, and then we also have this one. Then we have the current low, the current one, the current high that was created. Some people will call this a liquidity graph, but I call it a break of structure because there is a close with the body of the candlestick. So that is how I like to refer to it. Then what do? I just fix my Fibonacci once again. For those of you, for the sake of those who are following, I fix my Fibonacci once again over here. So the market is supposed to come down and then continue all the way up like this. That is what this market does. That is how it trades on all time frame. So when I fix my Fibonacci at the top of this, I am expecting that I get my my OT price coming to my OT, then I continue again. This is so simple. So price level is at 50% and also at OT. Then I just target about 22, 5 to 10 pips above the liquidity point. That is all. So now that is how this is being done. So this is apparently what we are looking for in the market to happen so that we can know where we are moving on to. So currently we are actually trading that. We are only actually trading that, as you can see. Now, what has happened? The market came all the way back here. We all know that this market, or by now you should be able to follow me, it came to make this low and now we have broken out. If we have broken out of this market, what are we expecting? We are expecting that thing that we always expect. Now we have a very beautiful break of structure over here. I'm going to draw that. And then we have a very beautiful swing point over here. We just fix our Fibonacci tool and wait for OT, just like that, just like that. So let me draw this perfectly for us to see with my tools. So on this current situation, we can see that we have a break of structure over here. So this beautiful break of structure we have over here is a very beautiful one that is broken. Then we have our swing. We have our daily swing at the bottom right here, like that. This is our swing. That swing should be strong because market has already changed character, so it should be the strongest swing. Then we also have our weak swing. We also have our weak swing at the top here because that is where the market has currently touched. Then what are we looking for? We are looking for just one thing, which is Fibonacci. We look for Fibonacci and then we place our entry, our OTE entry at that level. So now currently this is where we are. Market shouldn't go past this low. Yeah, market shouldn't go past that low at all because that is what it's supposed to mean. Then we also have this beautiful OTE that has been moved to that current part of the market. So if we are trying to trade, this is the best point to take our trade. This is the very, very best point. That's the first best point to take the trade is where market is currently. But the best of all best, to my opinion, is within the OTE level. So I'm going to take off the Fibonacci tool and then I'm going to set my long parameters over here. So market should enter this and then about 10 to 5 pips, 5 to 10 pips above that, and also about 10 to 5 pips below that. That is it. That is exactly what I am anticipating right now for this beautiful market. That is it. It's as simple as that. Now that I am here, what am I supposed to do? Now that we know this is the current structure, we move on to down. We move one more down because we are going to look for better sniper entry. For better snipers entry, we do the same thing that we have been doing. We look at the 4-hour line. We know that this market over here over here, the market is already in the 50% trading zone where we can take trade. But we don't just jump into market because market is in the 50% or the market has reached the OTE. We don't do that. We look for our trading entry models. And when we find our entry models, that is when we jump into this market. So currently, this is the current high over here, the current high that we are looking for, we are looking up to. The market is supposed to break out of this current high for us to, the market is supposed to do this, break out of this, come back, and then we continue. We know that this market has changed character. This is exactly what we are looking for. But for now, the market has not yet done that. So we'll be monitoring this market for a better entry over here. Now, this market is behaving very well. We can see that there is a very nice 4-hour break of structure over here. That is beautiful, a very sweet small one over here. We have that because if you look at the whole thing, this is where we currently want to be dealing with. So you can see that we have that break of structure, and if we have that break of structure, we fix our Fibonacci tool. Our Fibonacci tool will tell us exactly where to be expecting price to come. So on our 4-hour, we can see that we have the OTE around this zone. Our OTE is around this zone, and that is exactly where we are expecting market to come before market bounces off. So this is simply a liquidity. It could be a trap for us. That could be a trap for us. So a very beautiful trade over here. A very beautiful trade. I think 3R is the best that we can have over here. So this is it. Now we are going to be following this market on this time frame little by little. So we can only put an alarm over here because if this alarm goes, it means that this market is ready, is fully ready to take off. That's it. It's as simple as that. But for now, we can wait and enjoy this trade, and that is it. But this is DSY. You should know how to trade DSY. So that is what currently is happening. So if we move down to 1 hour, we will see that this market is in a very sweet spot over here. This is just a liquidity sweep. So I don't take that as a break of structure. I'm still waiting for market to come here before we follow this market all the way down. So if you're new here, please, you would like to subscribe to this channel because I'm bringing you more of this beautiful analysis every single time. So this is it on DSY. This is it on DSY. So the next pair we are going to be looking at is GBP USD because this market is the inverse of US dollar. So that is what we're going to be looking at. But for now, this is it on US dollar, and that is it. So please subscribe to the channel and make sure that you hit the like button and share this video so that it gets to all the people out there as well. Thank you very much. We'll meet again with the next video on GBP. Thank you. Bye-bye.